So okay, let us start. তোমরা টোটাল এখনো অব্দি 13 জন জয়েন করেছে দেখছি। Anyway, so I'm recording this and it will be uploaded. Let me first show you the structure, what we are going to follow for a few this for a few of these courses. But first, you tell me someone that whether you are getting my voice and audio clear, audio and video.
স্যার অডিও একটু ইকো হচ্ছে স্যার, মানে পুরোপুরি ক্লিয়ার হচ্ছে না, মানে একটু গম গম করছে এক কথায়।
হ্যাঁ স্যার, অডিওটা প্রচন্ড গম গম করছে, সেইভাবে কিছু পরিষ্কারভাবে শোনা যাচ্ছে না।
Now it's okay. Hello.
অলমোস্ট স্যার।
Okay. So I do hope it's okay now. I reconnected.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let me first show you that how we are planning these courses during this pandemic situation and what we are going to follow, and the software we are using, the facilities we are giving. This is, that we are using. I am using basically here Zoom. It's a university has arranged this particular linking, video conferencing linking, and the beauty is that here I can control everything. I can mute you, I can unmute you remotely. I can record this, I can upload this particular recording in any video streaming server like Vimeo or YouTube, and then I can reconnect that video inside my e-learning system. That we will be following the 4-quadrant model. Now, what this 4-quadrant model is, let me first explain. A 4-quadrant model is a model given by Ministry of PhD recently for e-learning process, and you all know the name of SIAM. SIAM is MOOCs platform of India, and through that platform, government of India actually invited lot many universities, lot many institutes to develop the coursework, and that coursework are distributed over the SIAM platform. You can register, you can go, you can have your certificate after due examination process, and that's all. So that particular SIAM platform created on the top of 4-quadrant modeling. 4-quadrant means there will be 4 parameters again every topic under a syllabus. Now you just imagine the syllabus. কি শুনতে পাচ্ছ না? কে লিখছো? সবাই কি কেউই কি শুনতে পাচ্ছ না? হ্যালো?
Yes, sir. Audio is clear.
Okay. So what I was telling you that this 4-quadrant model is based on 4 parameters against a given topic. এখন আমরা যদি আমাদের সিলেবাসটার কথা একটু চিন্তা করি, তাহলে কি দেখবো যে সিলেবাস এর মধ্যে অনেকগুলি কোর্স রয়েছে। যেহেতু আমরা সিবিসিএস এর মধ্যে রয়েছি, চয়েস বেসড ক্রেডিট সিস্টেম, তো তোমাদেরকে তোমাদের সেকেন্ড সেমিস্টারে একটা কোর্স বেছে নিতে হবে অন্য ডিপার্টমেন্ট থেকে, এবং সেই কোর্সটা সেই ডিপার্টমেন্টে কমপ্লিট করতে হবে। তো কোনো একটা সিবিসিএস সিলেবাসে আমরা কোনো এই ধরনের যে ডিগ্রিগুলো আমরা দিই, যেমন ধরো এমএলআইএস ডিগ্রি কি এমএসসি এমএ ডিগ্রি, এইগুলিকে বলা হয় প্রোগ্রাম। এই প্রোগ্রামের মধ্যে যেটা থাকে সেগুলি হচ্ছে কোর্স, যেমন আমাদের টোটাল কোর্স হচ্ছে 16 কোর্সেস। এই প্রত্যেকটা কোর্সের এগেনস্টে কিছু ক্রেডিট থাকে এবং মার্কস থাকে। তাহলে আমি যদি তোমাদেরকে সিলেবাসের স্ট্রাকচারটা প্রথমে বোঝাই, তোমরা আমাকে কেউ একজন রিপোর্ট করবে যে স্ক্রিনটা দেখতে পাচ্ছ কিনা। Can you see the screen now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is our syllabus. This I already shared with Jana sir. He will be distributing it. So as per this syllabus, you see, this is our program. The course we are offering, Master of Library Information Science. Apart from that, we are also offering MPhil in Library Science as well as PhD in Library Science. So this is your syllabus, Master of Library and Information Science. And the structure of the course is something like that. We have 64 credits. These 64 credits are distributed in 24 courses in 2 academic sessions. And each academic session is having 2 semesters. So altogether we are having 4 semesters. Each semester is having 6 number of paper. So altogether we have 24 courses in this particular course, but there are some courses which are having 16 courses, 18 courses, 20 courses. It doesn't matter. But this credit pattern is common. So all the master's programs are having 64 credits for the entire 18 number or 16 number or 24 number of courses. So this is the criteria. And this is our syllabus, a bird's eye view. So this is your semester 1. As I said, we have followed a pattern. The first paper will be a full paper, that is a 4 credit paper. And the last paper of that particular semester will be a full credit paper. Similarly, in the second semester also, the first one is the open course that you have to take from another department. We are also offering it from for other departmental student, information resource management. Then it is again followed by 2 credit paper and finally concluded with 1 full paper. So if entire this 4th semester will follow the same structure. First paper or the first course rather, we won't be saying paper in case of a 4th semester course. The first course is a full credit course, 4 credit course. It is followed by 4 2 credit course. For example, in case of semester 1, you will be having library information and society, the first course, followed by document classification, document cataloging. This classification will be covered by Jana sir, cataloging will be covered by SDG sir. Library information science, we all will have to take part. These 2 papers I will be covering exclusively. One is library information science technology theory and another is library information technology practice. And the final paper will be information sources, systems and services. All 3 teachers will be taking part in this particular course. So this is the structure. You can see here the final end semester examination marks. This particular common 80 for the full paper, 40 for the 2 credit paper. Internal assessment, each paper is having a minimum 10 internal assessment for the half paper, minimum 20 for the full paper. So altogether we are having 400 marks for each semester, 100, 200, 300, 400. So altogether 1600 marks. So this is the structure of the syllabus. Now after that is over, you can have a full view of the syllabus coverage against each particular course. So this particular course, say 104. So all 2 credit papers will be having 3 units and all 4 credit papers will be having 5 units. So we followed a completely structured approach in designing our syllabus, that every full paper will be having 5 units minimum, and every half paper or the 2 credit paper will have 3 units at the minimum. Then we have also detected that this internal assessment marks for the full paper and half paper, how it will be divided. For example, in the paper 10 LIS 101, you will be having end semester examination for 80. Continuing education like different kind of MCQ based examination, online assignment, these will be having 10, and 10 marks will be given for a given project. Similarly, in case of a paper 104, you will be having continuing education, continuing evaluation 10, and peer project will be 0. Or PRC stands for practice, PRG stands for project. Similarly, in 105, continuing evaluation like MCQ test, etc., will be nil, but 10 marks will be given for different kind of practical examination. So this is the way we have designed. Now, if you go into the further details of the syllabus, then you will be having this one. You will be having this entire structure, particular course, the course title, the credit structure, marks distribution related to internal assessment, objective of the paper, and unit in details. So this is a 5-unit full course. So after each of these particular syllabus, you will be having a reading list related to that paper. So this is the paper LIS HC 101, Library Information and Society, your first paper, and all the reading important reference reading and advanced reading list given in the APA format. This is the format we are following in social science. This is called American Psychological Association standard, citation standard, APA. We will be learning this very soon. So this is called APA standard. So similarly, again, the next paper of the syllabus starts. It gives you the all details of the 3 units, then the reading list related to that paper. So in this way, it goes on. Now, this is the overview of all the syllabus we are having. Now, let me go to this one, our e-learning portal. Say, this is our e-learning portal. I will be sharing the site address here. So this is the e-learning portal we have designed. But let me tell you one thing first, that when you will be using this particular e-learning portal, and most of the cases, this is actually saving us in this pandemic situation, and we are running it free of cost. So I arranged a cloud hosting of an open source software called Moodle, Modular Object Oriented Dynamic Learning Environment. So that is called a VLE, Virtual Learning Environment software. And that software we have utilized in a free cloud hosting system. So the entire process we are running free. And that is a good thing. But the bad thing is that because of this free hosting of the cloud, whenever you will be using this particular portal, lot many advertisement will be popping up. So like for example, you can see here laptop popping up. So you just ignore those one. Now when you will be going to this particular portal, our address is this one, mydlisku.gnomio.com. So mydlisku is the host name, mydlisku.gnomio.com. So this is the portal. Now when you will be coming to this portal, you will be getting the list of the course we are running here. So this is all your MLIC course, semester 1 to 3. We are also running here one finishing school course for NET SET aspirant students, those who passed out and those who are in the final semester. We are running a course for PhD MPhil students, and the entire examination process we conduct here, that is called blended examination. For example, we have taken here 2 examinations so far. One is for 2nd semester, one is for the 4th semester. And here again you can see advertisement popping up. Initially you need to don't click this advertisement, just ignore that one. Now it can list you. Now suppose you are interested in semester 1 and semester 2 courses. The moment you click it, it will show you the syllabus, that this is the courses I am having, library information technology theory and practice. Because initially 2 courses will be starting with, then gradually other courses will be added. So whenever I click this particular course, you can see it will not allow me to go further until and unless I am a registered user. So none of you are registered user. Most of the students are basically third sem and fourth sem and PhD coursework students. So you need to register first. If you go through this particular screen, here you can see you need to give a login name here, you need to give a password here, and otherwise you can also log in as a guest, but guest will not have access to different modules related to examination and other things. So my suggestion is that you better see this one, the last part or the bottom part of this particular screen. So this is asking you, is this your am I recording this one? Okay, so I'm recording this one so that later on if you find something, some problems or some issues again, so you can repeat this video many times, you can see. So I'm recording this particular. So whenever you will be coming here in mydlsku.gnomio, first thing is that you need to register, and second thing is that you need to enroll. So enrollment can be done in two ways. I can open up it for you so that you can automatically enroll, or I can check it that okay, you first register, I will enroll you in a given course. So but initially what I always like to give freedom in the hands of student. So I will be opening up all the courses of semester 1. So you please do not register in any course of semester 3 or 4 or other courses. You only register for the courses available in semester 1. So whenever you are clicking this particular create new account, this one, so a particular form will be coming. Here what I am saying you, that you give initially you note down your username and password, because after 2 and 3 times you are using it, you can memorize it, but initially it may give you some kind of trouble. So just give a username here. Username can be your nickname, it can be in any favorite name, but you see minimum 3 character and maximum 8 character. Do not go beyond 8 character. So try to give minimum 3 character, maximum 4 character, and try to give it in lower case, for example, so that it will be easier for you. There is no hard and fast rule, but it will be easier for you. So for example, if I want to create a user, so I can give say PSN. Then you need to give your password. So here you need to remember one thing, any password will not work. So my suggestion is that whenever you are here, also it is giving you a kind of hints that password must have at least 8 character. Minimum 8 character থাকতেই হবে, including alphabets, including digit, including special character. At least 1 digit must be there. At least 1 lowercase letter must be there. At least 1 uppercase letter must be there. And at least 1 non-alphanumeric character like underscore, star, @ and so. So I can give in this particular formula, I can create a password something like this. And I am sure that in many places when you register online, you need to follow this kind of rules sometimes for password creation. And here what it is saying, let me explain. Okay, so I have settled up with the username PSN. So in that case, what module is saying me that my password must be 8 character. So suppose I am giving PSN 1 2 3 4. So 7 character I have already given. P is capital. Okay, then I am giving @. Say what I have done here, just to tell you the formula. So anything, it is not mandatory that you have taken something what you have given in the user login. You can take any password, but please remember 1 letter must be capital. Try to give the first letter as the capital so that you can remember. 1 character must be any special character. What it takes, any special character means here it can take star, it can take hyphen, it can take underscore, it can take plus, and so on. So anything you are giving as a special character, and at least one digit. Okay, so I do hope that you understand now. Now, when you are giving this, next one is your email address. After email address, you need to repeat the email address. And as I, told you in the earlier meeting, that you must use the email ID what you are going to utilize for the next 2 years, because email ID once you have given, you cannot change. You can change your password, you can change your username, but email is fundamental. Otherwise, you need to re-register again. Then you give your first name. First name always give, do not use all caps. So suppose I am giving my first name. So in this way, in sentence case, then my surname. Then your city or town, or your own city. I'm just giving as an example. Then you click I am not a robot. So when you will be clicking that, and you click this create my account, you need to sign up something. Say for example, let me show you. I am giving something. So I am giving this email ID. So all of my forms is now, all the fields are filled up. Then I can click create account. So it is saying that I have already utilized this particular. I have already utilized this particular email ID, it is saying. So what I am doing, I am using something else. I don't know. Possibly I have utilized that also. Anyway, I do hope that you understand this particular email ID. So the moment you click this create my account, it will send an email to your account. Now, when you will be receiving the email in your mail account, the given mail account, you just click that one. It will give you a second level of form fill up. That means your name, your full address, your in which semester you are a student, and so on. Some fields are mandatory, some fields are optional. So try to fill up those particular fields very carefully, because your registration number and other things are important, and it will be beneficial for us for managing a student database. So when you are will be filling up or filled up all the second level form element, then you will be registered inside the system. Now after your registration process is over, then you will be entered like this one, and you can click your semester 1 courses. So under semester 1 courses, these 2 courses are available. Not many things are available under it. So let me show you an example that where we have uploaded many things. So this is a course of semester 3. In this particular model, your courses will be available here. Now suppose this is a theory course, automated library system. Now let me log in. So when I logged on as a student or as an admin, so these are the units available. And as I told you that against each particular topic available under a unit, so under that topic, it is based on 4 quadrant model. First, we are giving different kind of e-text. Suppose this is a lecture note on library automation, the introductory part. So the moment student click it, it will open up. So the short lecture note, they can download it, they can study it here and everything. Now, anytime they can move back the course. So this is called bread camp. Anytime you can click and you go to the upper level. Now, this includes the slide presentation. So here you see one e-text and slide presentation. So this is called quadrant 1. So the moment they click slide presentation, the content will be presented in the slide mode. I can go to the next slide, next slide, next slide. I can zoom in, I can zoom out, and so many things are available. So again, I am going back to unit 1. So this is all related to quadrant related to e-text. Then a video tutorial on this particular topic. So for example, library automation and introduction. So first I am giving an e-text, then the slide presentation, then a video on that particular one. Here it includes 2 video tutorials. So I always keep in mind that my video should not exceed the length of 30 minutes, practical videos, because after 30 minutes you do not carry forward your concentration. If it is higher, then we always divide the video into 2 parts, part 1 and part 2. So the same thing happened here. So this is the first part. If my student click it here, the video will be loaded here, and it is coming from YouTube. Library automation. As you know, library automation, theory, practice, software, standards, everything. You can go forward. The modern library automation software are being integrated library system which we normally call or generally call. So when your video process observation and over, you can go to the next video. Library automation. A library service requires a series of works like acquiring of documents, preparing and organizing of documents. And interestingly, you see, and their availability in many forms and formats. These activities. Interestingly, you see, as a teacher, I can check who of you have actually accessed this video, at what particular frame you have withdrawn yourself, and so on. For example, if I click here, logs, so I can see who are the student viewed this particular video, on which date, at what time, from what time to what time, from which IP address, what was the interface, everything I can see. And even I can download the data in CSV format. So this is one of the advantage. We can keep track against a particular video that who actually viewed it. Then after this is over in 4 quadrant mode, that e-text, slide presentation, video tutorial. Then we also give different kind of reading list, recommendation and best practices and so on. Then your task and evaluation started. So this is the assignment part. The assignment question is there. You can click here and you can use your this is the question part, and the moment you are ready with your assessment, you can always upload it. So if you are having a Gmail ID, that would be better in sense that here we have actually coordinated our software with the Google Drive. So the moment you click it, you can upload your video, assessment here. You can upload. So here you can see, you can use your Gmail account here, because we are using Google Drive. You can upload one copy of the submitted assignment will be available in your cloud storage. Another copy will be available in the system. Now this is the online assessment, and the things what students enjoyed most is this MCQ test. You can click here. So it will tell you that how many attempts allowed, when the quiz is open, what is the time limit, everything. and let me show you the preview. So you can start your attempt. So in this way, which of the following is not supported? Many questions will be coming. So you can uh, either answer it or not answer it. You can go to the next question. You can answer it. You can always back to the previous question. So it's not mandatory that in one go you have to answer everything. You can skip what you do not know, then again later on come forward. So it is a time limited quiz, and every time it will be telling you that what time you have left. And when you finish your attempt, the very next moment I can upload the result, because everything is machine generated. So the result you can see. So I'm showing you a third semester result. So which particular one particular student who got this is according to grade 7.5 out of 10. Then which particular question is right, which was wrong, everything it will be giving you. Which particular question you have not attempted at all. So in this way, I can give you a detailed examination result sheet after your courses, after your examination is over. So no, nothing, no more waiting. Now, all the class lectures we conduct so far, those we actually uploaded here under different units, related units. And in this way, we have taken different units. This is not yet completed, but let me tell you a course which we have already completed. So semester 2. So against each particular, say, resource description and this is your next semester course. So after your every assignment is over, I can publish a grade book. So grade book means covering all the courses related to all the units. So this is called course grade book. So against each of the student, I can show you that which particular student got in MCQ what, MCQ 0, assignment 1, MCQ 1, MCQ 2, and so on. So what is the total score? What is the final round of score? Everything it's actually calculated by the system. I am sure that altogether 3 courses we have completed. One is the 4th semester courses, 3rd semester, 2nd semester, and 1 PhD. So everywhere there is no problem at all with this system on the side of the students, and they really enjoy it. So in the initial day or the first day, I am not starting any course, but these 2 courses I will be teaching you. One is this library information technology theory, another one is related practice, and a few units related to your the last course, that is LIS 106, LIS AC 106. So if you do not have any question, you let me share the address here. Directly I'm giving you login.php. Let me log out. Now if I log in, so this is the address and I'm sharing this in the chat box. You can copy it and you can click it here and you can start registration. Okay. So do you have any question? কারোর কিছু কোশ্চেন থাকলে বলো, জানার থাকলে যদি কিছু জানার থাকে related to this and anything related to the course. Otherwise after the বলো
হ্যালো স্যার, আই হ্যাভ এ কোশ্চেন। স্যার বলতে চাইছিলাম যে স্যার আমি অঞ্জন বলতে চাইছিলাম যে স্যার এই মানে যখন আমি রেজিস্টার করে ফেলবো পোর্টালটা, তখন তারপরে কি এমসিকিউ ওগুলো কি আমাদের সেমিস্টারের পর স্টার্ট হয়, না আমি যখন খুশি তখনই অ্যাক্সেস করতে পারবো?
না, তুমি একবার রেজিস্ট্রেশন করে নিলে কোর্স মেটেরিয়াল যতবার খুশি অ্যাক্সেস করতে পারবে, যতবার খুশি ডাউনলোড করতে পারবে, অ্যাক্সেস করতে পারবে। কিন্তু এভালুয়েশনের ক্ষেত্রে একটা ডেট লিমিট এবং টাইম লিমিট থাকে। যেমন নর্মালি আমি করি কি, আগেই অ্যানাউন্সমেন্ট থাকে, তুমি যখন সিস্টেমে ঢুকবে দেখবে প্রত্যেক দিন ও পপ আপ করছে যে নেক্সট কি টাস্ক আছে, কবে কোন পার্টিকুলার অ্যাসেসমেন্টের লাস্ট ডেট, কোন পার্টিকুলার এক্সামিনেশনের কবে ডেট, ও তোমাকে অটোমেটিক্যালি পপ আপ করবে থ্রু ক্যালেন্ডার। তো ধরো তোমাকে বলা হলো আমরা প্রথম কয়েকদিন পরে আমি একটা ডামি অনলাইন অ্যাসাইনমেন্ট সাবমিশন আর অনলাইন এমসিকিউ করব, তার এগেনস্টে কোনো মার্কস থাকবে না, সো দ্যাট ইউ ক্যান অ্যাকুয়েন্টেড ইয়োরসেলফ, তুমি তাদেরকে অভ্যস্ত বা সড়গড় হয়ে যেতে পারো। তো সেইটাতে থাকবে আমি যখন একটা অ্যাসাইনমেন্ট ডিক্লেয়ার করব তার ডেট থাকবে, লাস্ট ডেট, কতক্ষণ অবধি তুমি সাবমিট করতে পারবে, কতক্ষণের পর থেকে কতক্ষণ করলে তোমাকে লেট সাবমিশন বলবে কিন্তু সাবমিশন করতে দেবে, কতক্ষণ পর থেকে তোমাকে সাবমিশনই করতে দেবে। তো এই জিনিসগুলো অ্যাজ এ টিচার আমি সেট আপ করবো। কুইজের ক্ষেত্রে নর্মালি যেটা করি আমরা ডেট এবং টাইম বলে দিলাম, কুইজ অ্যাভেলেবেল থাকবে 11:30 থেকে 11:30 অবধি, হাফ এন আওয়ার, কিন্তু যে মুহূর্তে তুমি অ্যাটেম্প করবে তার থেকে 10 মিনিট পাবে, মানে তুমি 11:20-তে অ্যাটেম্প করলে 11:20 থেকে 30 পাবে, 15-তে অ্যাটেম্প করলে 15 থেকে 25 পাবে। তো যে মুহূর্তে থেকে অ্যাটেম্প করবে 10 মিনিট পাবে, কিন্তু গোটা কুইজটা ওপেন থাকবে হাফ এন আওয়ার, কারণ অনেক সময় অনেক জায়গাতে নেটওয়ার্ক প্রবলেম তো হয়, ইস্যু হয়, তো সেই ক্ষেত্রে সেটা যাতে না হয়। আর আদারওয়াইজ কেউ যদি কোনো কুইজ নেটওয়ার্ক প্রবলেমের জন্য না দিতে পারো, কোনো অসুবিধা না হয়, উই অলওয়েজ রিপিট ইট ফর দেম, সো ডোন্ট ওরি অ্যাট অল, বাট ফার্স্ট ইউ ফ্রি ইয়োর মাইন্ড দ্যাট এভরি কাইন্ড অফ হেল্প উইল বি প্রোভাইডিং। যদি আমরা দেখি যে রিজনটা জেনুইন, তুমি সাবমিট করতে পারো নি নেটওয়ার্ক বা ওই মুহূর্ত থেকে কোনোভাবে আমাদের এন্ডে কোনো প্রবলেম ছিল, সো দ্যাট ক্যান বি ডিটেক্টেড থ্রু দ্য সিস্টেম।
ওকে স্যার, থ্যাংক ইউ স্যার, থ্যাংক ইউ।
আর আর কারোর কিছু থাকলে বলো কোশ্চেন। আর কারোর কোনো কোশ্চেন আছে, কিছু জানার আছে? ওকে, সো তাহলে আজকে আমরা এখানেই ক্লাস, আমি সম্ভবত আবার তোমাদের ক্লাস নেবো, দেখি জানা স্যার রুটিনটা কেমন ভাবে করছেন, কি আসছে। কালকে আমার থার্ড সেমিস্টারের ক্লাস আছে, আমি হয়তো তোমাদের তো রোববার ক্লাস নিলে কোনো অসুবিধা নেই।
না স্যার।
না স্যার, না স্যার, একদম না।
না স্যার।
আমি জেনারেলি ক্লাসগুলো নিলে ওই 11:30।
স্যার সানডেতে আমার প্রবলেম আছে, আমি ক্লাস করতে পারবো না সানডেতে।
হ্যাঁ, যদি কেউ ক্লাস না করতে পারো তাহলে দেখো এখানে এইটা অ্যাডভান্টেজ ই লার্নিং এর, পুরো ক্লাসটা রেকর্ডিং করে রেখে আবার আপলোড করে দেওয়া হবে। যেমন ধরো এখানে তুমি যদি দেখো আমরা এখন থার্ড সেমিস্টারের যে ক্লাসগুলো, সো ডোন্ট ওরি অ্যাট অল যে কোনো একটা পার্টিকুলার তুমি হয়তো তোমার কোনো কোশ্চেন থাকলে সেটা ক্লিয়ার আউট হলো না বা তোমাকে পরের ক্লাস অব্দি ওয়েট করতে হবে, বাট তার মানে এটা নয় কি যে তুমি টোটাল এন্টায়ারলি ক্লাসটা মিস করে যাচ্ছ। এইটা হচ্ছে ট্র্যাডিশনালের সঙ্গে ভার্চুয়ালের একটা ডিফারেন্স। যেমন ধরো এই স্ক্রিনে যদি তুমি দেখো আমাদের থার্ড সেমিস্টারের যেটা এখন চলছে এই মুহূর্তে, তো তাদের ক্ষেত্রে কি হয়, ধরো আমি তোমাদেরকে দেখালেই বুঝতে পারবে, সে দিস ওয়ান evaluation part, সে ভিডিও টিউটোরিয়াল লাস্ট যেটা হয়েছে 28/1-এর যে ক্লাসটা, সেটা কেউ মিস করেছে, তুমি দেখো এখানে আমি এটাকে আপলোড করে দিতে পারি রেকর্ডিং করার পরে ইউটিউবে, আমাদের চ্যানেল রয়েছে ইউটিউবে। তো নাও ইউ ক্যান সি ইট, card with photograph of member, barcoded member ID and details like name, department. I can make it full text. এইটা কারণ হয়েছে, কেউ মেম্বার আইডি কার্ড জেনারেট করতে পেরেছো?
ট্রাই করেছিলাম স্যার।
স্যার করেছিলাম কিন্তু সেই কেমন টাইপের হচ্ছে।
আচ্ছা ঠিক আছে, নেক্সট হচ্ছে ওয়েআই রিকোয়েস্ট, এটা তো দেখাবো। ব্যাকআপ অ্যান্ড রেস্টোরেশন, এইটা আমি লোকাল মেশিনে দেখাবো, এর সঙ্গে পরীক্ষার কোনো সম্পর্ক নেই, এগুলো পরীক্ষার পর দেখাবো। আর হচ্ছে ডিজাইন ইউর ওপ্যাক উইথ হেডার ইমেজ, ফুটার টেক্সট, অ্যাবাউট টু ডিসপ্লেস। ডিসপ্লেস একটা সাইন, ইট ইজ নট রিলেটেড টু প্রিন্সিপাল, বাট যখন তোমার ইউজার তোমার লাইব্রেরি সার্চ করতে চায়, সে কি এরকম চাই যে আমি এই এই জিনিসের উপর, এরকমটা কিন্তু খুব কম এরকম রিকোয়ারমেন্ট থাকে। সো বোঝা গেল? একটা আইডিয়া পেলে যে কিরকম ভাবে রেকর্ডিং ক্লাসটা তুমি পরে দেখতে পারবে, এবং সেটা কোনো না কোনো ইউনিটের আন্ডারে অ্যাভেলেবেল হবে উইথ দ্য ক্লাস টেক্সট। সো ডোন্ট ওয়ারি। তাহলে আজকে আমরা এখানে শেষ করছি। আমি এই ইন্ট্রোডাক্টরি ক্লাসটাও এক্ষুনি আপলোড করে দেবো 104 এর এগেনস্টে। মানে এখানে যখন আমরা কোর্স বলবো না, বারবার পুরোটা বলবো না, LIS HC 104, LIS HC 105। তুমি 104 মানে শুনলেই বুঝতে পারবে যে 1 স্ট্যান্ডস ফর সেমিস্টার 1, 04 স্ট্যান্ডস ফর কোর্স নাম্বার, 105 কোর্স নাম্বার 5 অফ সেমিস্টার 1, 106 কোর্স নাম্বার 6 অফ সেমিস্টার 1. Similarly, 201, 202, course number 2 of semester 2, and so on. So, if you don't have any question, then we are closing this for the day. Let me